Well, welcome. We're so glad that you've taken the time to be here as part of this conversation. We are talking around this idea: is racism here in on the island of Ireland? We are in the city of Belfast, and we're going to answer that today through our own experiences, through our own circumstances. And I'm so glad to be joined on Zoom by a whole bunch of UTyouthers who call UTyouth home. We're going to hear their experiences and have a conversation which we hope encourages you, helps you understand the topic of racism even better.
Yeah, so hey guys, thank you again for watching. My name is Faith, as Ryan has already said, and I am 20, and I'm just going to let some of these guys introduce themselves as well. So,
Hi, I'm Jamie, and I'm 18 years old.
Hey guys, my name is Jema. I'm 20 years old.
Hi, I'm Rotendo and I'm 13 years old.
Hi, I'm Harry and I'm 14 years old.
Madison, and I'm 13 years old.
Hi, I'm Kelsey and I'm 13 years old.
Hi, I'm Nathaniel and I'm 14 years old.
Hi, my name is Frank and I'm 12 years old.
Hi, I'm Faith and I'm 16.
Hi, I'm Natalia and I'm 16.
Hi, I'm Tyrese and I'm 14.
Okay, so guys, I'm just going to ask like a few questions, and if you would just like to put up your hand, it's going to have like a few statements, and if you just like put up your hand or like holler at me or whatever, if you've ever been in that experience. So the first one is put your hand up if you have ever had someone ask you like, where are you really from? Yeah, even me, I didn't put my hand up. Yeah, so I'll have that one. Yeah, has anyone ever answered it like, I'm from here? Like, put your hand up. I'm from here. What do you mean where I'm from? Yeah. Has anyone ever felt people looking at them whenever they're in Tesco or shopping or in a state, like in a different, like a supermarket?
When I was in America, I got like funny looks when we were walking around Walmart because like I was just, I don't know, it was just me and my mom, and it's the other people there look kind of off because my mom's white.
No, I'd say even over here, I've like had people look at me weird. Whenever I walked about, like whenever they see your hair as well, like oh my goodness, like I've never seen it before. And with some people it is like they're actually curious and that's fine, but then other people are just like what's that about, and they'll just reach out and touch it.
Yeah. That was actually just gonna be my next. Put your hand up. The last one. Has anyone ever like? Have you ever been like with people and they're like, "What's your hair? How's your hair like that? How long does it take?" Like ask questions or try to touch people's hairs.
Yeah.
Like
every day.
Last week I was on and like people just wouldn't stop touching my hair. Like just, it was so annoying. I got annoying, but can't really do anything about it.
Well, you can. That like this is why we're able to have a conversation.
You can tell them to stop, and then they just won't stop.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the same thing that happens to me.
Wow.
I could literally be like in the shop, like in a queue, and then some random lady just like behind me just starts feeling my hair, like not even asking, and I'm just like, what? You can't just do that. Like, I don't know you.
No, so then it just leads me to like my next question, which is just like, do you agree like, does racism happen here today?
Yeah.
And I want to just lead this into the conversation. Like people say like racism doesn't happen, and we'll have seen it in the last few weeks. Like that's in America or that's there and that's there, but like here today, like people are saying that, and like I want you guys to like help like us, like all of us, each other, or like people watching this video, like does like racism, as we've already said, like it doesn't have to be like a physical thing. Like it can be someone just looking at you, or it can be someone like just like physically touching your hair. But like I want some of you guys to like say like some of your experiences in like how have you experienced racism today, and like Natalia, if you would just like share with us like how like one of the like an example for you, like how you experienced the physical and maybe even just verbal.
Yeah, well, I've definitely experienced like it verbally because like even since primary school, like in primary school someone called me the N-word, and then I told the teacher, and then the school didn't really do anything about it. They was like, oh well, like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, but they didn't really do anything further with it. even like one time when I was with my friends, and we were walking past the park, and there's these group of teenage boys in this house, and they shouted down from their window like to our other like white friends. They were like, are like feed your African friends, and then calling us the N-word and stuff, and like,
Wow.
yeah, it was just awful.
Yeah.
I had the same experience as well with where boys in my school were saying things to me. Like I'd been called like a monkey several times, and then been called the M-word too. And when I'd reported it, the teachers didn't do anything about it, which has led like me to become really annoyed about it. And I've been at school, like I shouldn't feel uncomfortable going to school.
I experienced racism when I was younger. I was 8, and I got beat up. And while I was getting beat up, they were just calling me names like monkey, the N-word, and everything.
Wow.
For my experience of like racism, like I think it's really apparent here in Northern Ireland. It's just that for me, I've like probably grown like a tolerance of racism, and like I've just learned how to like avoid it like from people. It's like I've been living here for probably like 8 years now, and like really still have to like explain to people whenever I like meet them, like that's why like I probably avoid public transports like bus. That's why I like prefer to be cycling. So I just learned like to tolerate it, but like I can see now that it's not okay because like other people are like experiencing even more compared to me. So yeah.
Yeah, no, but even still, like, even if someone is facing it in a different, like in a different way, like that doesn't take away from how you experience it. Like all of it isn't okay in any way, shape, or form. Like you're more than how you look. Like you're not just a person. In the fact that you would fear, like, to get public transport, something that should be for all of us. Like it shouldn't be like you can't get that bus because like you shouldn't have to fear just to have to get from point A to point B. Like that shouldn't be okay at all. How do you as an individual like try and deal with it, and like how do you like, for John Matthew, you kind of said you shook it off, but like even that, like how do you even process it in like in you, like how do you work it out, how do you keep going and like moving forward?
I feel like I would have shook it off too, because it's really really hard to actually say something, like especially if it's like in a room full of people and no one there actually has faced that before, and it's really intimidating actually being like, no, you can't say that to me, that's wrong. Like you can't say that. So I find it really really hard to actually correct people. I find it easier with strangers, which is weird, but my own friends, like there's things they come out with and I'm like in my head, like, you can't say that, like you can't do that, and I always feel guilty for correcting them when I shouldn't. Like I had a time where like, this is weird, but I was going out with a guy who was white, and his mum had said to him, well, I don't want no mongrel babies.
Oh my
like
goodness.
and I like that made me feel really uncomfortable, because like someone saying that to you,
yeah,
I don't know, and I didn't know what to say. Like I literally still haven't said anything about it.
Frank, like how do you feel? Like have you had any experiences, or like how have you tried to deal with experiences that you've had?
No, I've actually not really experienced this much before. Like basically I was like a really young age, about 6 to 8. I didn't really know about this stuff, and I just never really saw anyone do this, like do what's the racism to me. So I wasn't I didn't really like feel what everyone thought, but I knew, like, now that I'm older now, I know more about this, and I know that it's like really really it really really hurts you, and I don't think anyone should be treated like that right now.
In school, like there's been times where I've been like called a Malteser, simply just the color of my skin.
Yeah, like I think it'd be the same for me, because like obviously like skills and stuff, it's more like jokes, and I just be like, oh haha, and I just go along with it because I didn't really know what else to do. So
yeah, and like with like if you've ever experienced like jokes or like things people have said, like how have you like felt, like even if you've just gone along with it in the moment, like how has it actually made you feel in those moments? Like
I feel like younger me, it took quite a toll sort of me, because it wasn't really good for my confidence, and it kind of just took a toll on me. Like I just for a while I had a sort of thing, like not necessarily like I just kind of create an image in my head that like black was bad or person of color wasn't like obviously normal, so I just think it wasn't a good thing necessarily. Yeah,
I think that it was common, like for me, whenever I like the way I dealt with it before was that I put it in the back of my head, and then like I'd said before, it took this to happen for me to sit and look at things, and like it actually really did affect me growing up, where I was so self-conscious about, because like girls in school like, oh, you look really different, your skin's like chocolate, or like something like that, or something about my hair, so it caused me to like wear wigs and more different things. I even wanted like I wanted to change my surname and went through that because I was ashamed of mine, and I was just embarrassed to be so different with everyone else, and it isn't nice because I've no like it is actually a common thing with loads of people that they're ashamed. Like I had a teacher tell me that oh, you speak quite well for someone that's, and I was like, well, I'm not actually from Africa, like I live here and I was born here, so I do just speak like I speak the same way you speak.
I speak, yeah.
I didn't think that was something that should have been commented on.
Well, when I was like yeah, it was like primary school, like just I felt really different, and I would like go home and sit like in my room and think to myself, why do I look like this? Why are they like that color? How am I like this? And like it would make me feel really bad by myself, thinking like, would people want me to be more like that? Do people think that I'm supposed to be like my dad, and I'm supposed to be white? And then like they'd be like, it would really get to me, and it would get to Travis as well, because it's just not fair that we had to like go through thinking that we were all different and that we weren't right and we were born like wrong. Like, we're not supposed to be like this, and we're like outsiders compared to like other white people.
I went to a rugby game once that Harry, you and Tyrese, you're both playing at, and you were the only two boys on the pitch who weren't white out of all of these guys in third year, year 10. You were the only two boys who weren't white. How does that feel?
When the first time I went to like the rugby camp, like when I was B7 going to first year, people like used to avoid me since I was like quite tall, and also I was black, so people were scared of me, and like they always like left me alone, and like didn't want anything to do with me. So I used to like impact me when I was like young, when I was in like B7 going into first year, and that also made me scared of going into Methody.
Well, yeah, like some people will be like, when they're like making the jokes, and they're like, oh, Kelsey doesn't get this because this is water and they don't have clean water in Africa. Like they always just say whatever comes to their mind, and like try to make you feel like, certain people just try to make you feel bad, and like they will point out anything. Like they'll be like, oh yeah, so Kelsey's from over here, and I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm actually born in Belfast. And they're like, oh no, but you're that color, so you're born over there. And I'm like, but like that doesn't mean that, like just because I'm this color doesn't mean I'm actually born in Africa. Even happened in school sometimes when I'm in school, and like a meeting with like parent teacher meetings, and people will be commenting like the color of my mom's skin, like pointing her out and being like, oh Kelsey, your mom's black, oh your mom's African, she's not even from this country. And I'm like that does also affect me, because I'm like, that's my mom.
Just on the back of what Kelsey was saying, just before the lockdown, someone yelled at my mum saying, you caused this virus, or you're the reason for this, or something along those lines. And they kind of like instilled fear in me, like being scared to go out, because they might call me like, saying that I'm the reason for the virus and give me dirty looks. Like I get a lot of dirty looks when I go out, like especially during the lockdown. And it's like I never win, because when I'm wearing a mask, people look at me like they're weirded out, like why are you wearing a mask? But then when I don't wear a mask, I get dirty looks just because I'm Asian.
Yeah. Like growing up so far away from Belfast, I never had any black friends except Rotendo, and she was my only black friend. And in primary school, me and my sister were the only light. We were considered light, but parent teacher interviews, my mum was singled out, and my mum didn't feel it because she was used to it, but I felt it. And after I was like 10 years old, I started to see the stairs. I started wondering why I was different.
Yeah.
And then in secondary school now, I start seeing people actually be racist and say things behind my back or actually say things to me. Or just straight out touching my hair and doing all weird things.
Thank you guys, all of you, for being so vulnerable and sharing what you've gone through. And it can't be easy even thinking about it, and like even having to like feel it again. Like it can't be easy at all. And all of you are beautifully created and have a God who loves you and have created you specifically how you are for a reason and for a purpose. And just because you look different does not mean in any way, shape, or form that there's something odd about you or wrong about you. Like you are created like exactly how you are for a reason, and all of your voices are like so key and so crucial. So thank you, all of you, for saying what you have said. But just to finish off, I want us to just share, like, people are going to watch this and see and be like, that's so sad, and they'll feel not obviously how you felt it, but they'll feel a small part of that. But we don't want people to just feel it and get on with their day. Like, we want to be able to raise awareness of this and be able for people to be able to help and do what they can. So I want, like, one of you guys just to share, like, how do you think, in your opinion, people can help? Or if you've ever, like, if you have friends who are helping, like, how have people stood out for you? Or like, what have your friends or people that you know, what have they done for you guys? Yeah, just share things.
Well, for me, I think obviously, like, not trying to just ignore the situation and act as if it's all okay, because it's not me. So obviously, like, you're not really going to experience it, so you may not have the sort of same passion for it, but just not like being like, oh, it's not me, so I can just pass it by. Or like even talking to some people that you know who are people of color, because like it can be really good to like see it from other people's point of view. Like, obviously for me, I've talked to some of my friends about it, and it's really good to see like how they feel about it, because obviously from a different point of view, being like white, they don't really know what it is, and you can like even see like how people of color feel about it.
I think a load of people find it really uncomfortable to talk about. And I had this issue with my friends where I was trying to get them to watch certain things. Like, there was this one episode on Netflix, or this one series, sorry, called When They See Us, and it was really unsettling to watch. Like, it was difficult to go, but I was trying to explain to them, like, it is hard for you to watch that, but it's also harder for us to actually experience that, and I'd rather you have that hour discomfort of watching something and know that that's a problem and try and do something about it, than just ignore that it's even there. Because I think ignorance is the worst thing that could be done about it.
Yeah, I would say, which sounds hilarious, the fact that I have an opinion on it. The whitest guy in the room in the Zoom. I would say the people who are working out, you know, they see it, they're looking along their stories all the time and seeing all of kind of the advocates saying different things or saying the same thing. My encouragement would be just look at your friendship group, and uh, your heart is always reflected in your friends. So if your friends look the same as you, then your heart is the same as you. But if your friends look different from you, then you have diversity. You've created diversity in your heart. So that would be my encouragement. It's not always easy, and I don't mean headhunt diversity, but you get what you go for. If you want a diverse life where you want to be educated, you don't want to be ignorant, you want to experience beauty of people, of every demographic, culture, vibrancy, whether they're born here and someone in their family once was from another, lived in another continent, or was born in another continent. All of that educates you as a white person, and so that would be my encouragement for what people would do, or could do, is that distance breeds distortion, but proximity breeds intimacy. The closer I am with somebody, the more intimate I become. The further I keep people away from me, the more distorted they become in my view. So I would say, look at your friends.
I think another thing is, like, not to be afraid to ask, because a lot of my friends are so afraid to say certain things, like, oh, am I allowed to call you black? Am I allowed to say this? Am I allowed? But I'm glad that they're asking, because it's better than them being afraid to say anything or ask. That is like, because no one's gonna take offense if you ask politely. It's not offensive. So I prefer people asking.
Yeah, and also I have loads of close friends who are from different countries. So there's some from Nigeria, Swaziland, Pakistan, and like people from here, and they're all very different, and they all have like something like really interesting to share. And like just hearing about different cultures is like, it's really fun. Like it's really interesting just like learning about different people. And like I think you should definitely get to know people, especially, well, not especially, but like equally, everyone just from different countries and even here, and you won't regret it.
Yeah.
Well, I just say that you like can't really judge anyone until you like talk to them and like, find out what they're actually like, because you can't judge them by their skin color or like where they're from, because that doesn't really tell you anything about them or how they act or how they are. But you have to like actually see what they're like before you judge them.
Yeah.
And you should always give someone a chance. Like it doesn't really matter it doesn't matter at all. Like their skin color, you should just like give them a chance.
Everyone is so right. Like I think the most important thing that you can do is just educate yourself on the situation and just try to have conversations with people. And like Faith said, like just ask questions, and you can never go wrong when you ask a question. Like you hear it in school, like there's no stupid question, there's no silly question. So if you ask, like you're able to have a conversation and you're able to then learn more and just see what it is that other people go through, and you're able to expand your mind. But yeah, we really hope that this has been helpful and it's been informative and effective, and we hope that we will be able to be the generation that we do get to see a change, that we're not in 10 years time, that we're not still getting names, people are throwing things at us or anything like that, that we are able to be the generation that is ahead of the change, that we get to stand at the front lines and say that we were part of the change that we got to see, and our kids don't have to grow up in the terrible times that we've had to grow up with, or our parents have had to grow up. But yes, and thank you all so much for saying what you have said. And yeah.
Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us as part of this conversation. Any of the stereotypes that you came in with, I'm sure that they were addressed in some way, shape, or form. The question was always rhetorical. It's here, present, it's real, it happens, and it's not okay. And we're not okay with it. So as you continue on the journey of understanding racism and how to stand against it, or you begin on that journey, we encourage you to do so, and let's change history. Well, you can't change history, but let's change the future together, and ultimately we'll change the world together. Thank you so much for being part of it, and big thanks to all of these guys who took time out of their day to hang out and share their experiences. Love y'all.